aṣóńṣó abẹ́ aṣóńṣó abẹ́ ọ̀dàrà olórí agbẹ́rùlé o.
aṣóńṣó abẹ́
ọ̀dàrà olórí agbẹ́rùlé o.
aṣóńṣó abẹ́
láàlú olórí agbẹ́rùlé o.
aṣóńṣó abẹ́
bàbá mi olórí agbẹ́rùlé o.
aṣóńṣó abẹ́
láàlú tàrẹ wá o.
tàrẹ ṣàṣà tàrẹ wá bá mi.
láàlú tàrẹ wá o.
tàrẹ ṣàṣà tàrẹ wá bá mi.
láàlú tàrẹ wá o.
tàrẹ ṣàṣà tàrẹ wá bá mi.
ọkọ̀ lú tàrẹ wá o.
tàrẹ ṣàṣà tàrẹ wá bá mi.
ta ló dàpọ̀ nílùú.
èso ọ̀dàrà ló dàpọ̀ nílùú rẹ̀mẹ̀tẹ̀.
ta ló dàpọ̀ nílùú.
èso ọ̀dàrà ló dàpọ̀ nílùú rẹ̀mẹ̀tẹ̀.
tá ń dàpọ̀ nílùú.
èso ọ̀dàrà ló dàpọ̀ nílùú rẹ̀mẹ̀tẹ̀.
ẹni ṣẹbọ lóore.
èṣù
bí ẹni ṣèṣù lóore.
èṣù
bí ẹni ṣẹbọ lóore.
èṣù gbé
ẹni ṣèṣù lóore.
èṣù gbé
yóò gbé o èṣù ni ó gbé yá mi.
yóò gbé o èṣù ní ògbéyà mi.
yóò gbé o èṣù ni ó gbé yá mi.
yóò gbé o èṣù ní ògbéyà mi.
yóò pa o èṣù ni ó pọ̀tá mi.
yóò pa o èṣù ní òpọ̀tà mi.
yóò pa o èṣù ni ó pọ̀tá mi.
yóò pa o èṣù ní òpọ̀tà mi yányán.
alangajiga alangajiga èṣù ó gbé wa o elégbèjàdó.
alangajiga
èṣù ó gbé wa o elégbèjàdó.
alangajiga
a ò rí gún a ò gbọ́dọ̀ ṣẹbọ.
alangajiga
a ò rákàlà a ò gbọ́dọ̀ ṣòro.
alangajiga
èṣù ó gbé wa o elégbèjàdó.
alangajiga.
Good morning, Ekaro. Ekaro, this is Oluo Fakola Dev Edinkai Ifa Temple. We welcome you to our Ifa Temple service, our Ile Ijuba. We do this every Sunday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we welcome you all. I want people to like and share, and let us begin with prayer. All right. Okay. Mojuba loro, mojuba ilẹ̀dá, mojuba loro mare, mojuba bobo womle, mojuba bobo imale, mojuba bobo ezin tembele, solodo mare, mojuba misnes madede lusu denis mare, mojuba da, so mojuba besnes, mojuba fedenis, mojuba fedenis, mojuba dale, mojuba zani, mojuba nango, mojuba kedenis, mojuba kebawase, mojuba jenida, mojuba keri dale, mojuba kedale, mojuba jendobe, mojuba tenino chinu, mojuba no black kadene, sabu syndrome. Mojuba bobo eki tenjilite Olodumare Ifa Ojire. We call on you at this time. We call on all of the Irumole. We call on Eshu Odara. Call on Shango. Yema. We call on Yemonja. We call on Oshun. All of the Irumole and Orisha to come to support us. Call on Ifa. We call on the Holy Odu. Ika Medio. Ifa says there's a high wind blowing from this side. There's a serious storm blowing from that side. The heaven is in great turbulence. None knows where the rain will fall. Everyone is running helter-skelter. Rainfall cannot start from the other side for it to suddenly shift to this side. These were the declarations of Ifa to Akapo Ope when evangelizing Ifa the world over. Ifa, don't you see my hands? I had been suffering everywhere because of you. I did not eat until I reached the home of Olu. Ifa, don't you see my hands? Here are my palms, Ifa. I did not drink until I reached the home of Okeora. Ifa, don't you see my hands? I have been suffering everywhere because of you, Ifa. Here are my palms, Ifa. I neither ate nor did I drink until I reached Okegeti, the home of Agbaniregun. Ifa, don't you see my hands? Here are my palms. I had been suffering everywhere because of you, Ifa. I had been told by a reliable source that you put peace and harmony into my life. Ifa, I had been reliably informed that you ensured a peaceful demise for Owaoga, who is also known as Owagiri Ibedu, offspring of those who greet each other with Okunyeye, he which fights and strikes the base of the sword against the ground. Ifa, please ensure a peaceful end for me as well. On the day of my passing, ensure that good children are available. Help them to be available to ride on horses after my departure. Olodumare, we ask that you would continue to ward off all death, ward off sickness, ward off cases, controversies, ward off fights, litigation, losses, and our advice from our families. Help so that we will be able to live a good life, so that we will leave a good legacy, a legacy of good character, a legacy of good people to chant our names. Olodumare, please support me. We ask at this time that you would ward off all death, ward off sickness, ward off cases, controversies, ward off fights, litigation, losses, and our advice from all of us at this time. Bring forth to us long life, wealth, good spouse, good children, longevity, prosperity, victory over adversity, peace of mind, joy, healing, success, and seven-figure income. Ifa, we call on you. We call on you. Ifa, please move my ego out of the way so that we can hear words of Ifa, good words of Ifa. Ima kami mene amo, ima kami mene ano, ima kami mene adeloku. Itamole tori Ifa alone ni, ebora timpani ni, enebana mi hati Ifa alelejo. Ifa, please come to our support and call on Oshe Aruela. Mshetura, Tani of the fetal tubu, the stripe of a chameleon is not big enough to use a headgear. I'd have been lucky to take that. Would have taken it home and on my head with it. Easy cause decorations to Arula and go on spiritual mission to Ijebuin. We call those we send pay money, on salsa and make it rich. We call Oshe Arula, is a that I will. Oshe Tora, Tani of the fetal tubu, the stripe a kick in bagisa, ya shai shop against the tree, Tati for room, you see, we buy and I share from all of the mine. If in a world to be wealthy, should be wealthy. I kick it in bagisa, and the mouth of an orange, I deep on that shit, and the mouth of an award, if no should have joy, should have joy. I kick it in bagisa, and the mouth of an orange, I deep on that shit, and the mouth of an award. Should the Lord choose your peace, should have peace. I kick it in bagisa, and the mouth of an orange, I deep on that shit, and the mouth of an award. No should have victory, should have victory. I kick it in bagisa. And the mouth of an orange, I keep on that shit, and the mouth of my will. To a scene, maybe so, surely shall it be. Ashe Orisha, lẹ́nu mi o, Ashe Orisha, lẹ́nu mi. Gbogbo tí mo bá màmá wí o, ìlú mọ̀lẹ́ rọ́bà. Ìfọ̀ ọba o, Ashe Orisha, lẹ́nu mi. Bí mo dúró, tí mo súré. Bí mo bẹ̀rẹ̀, tí mo súré. Bí mo kúnlẹ̀, tí mo súré. Bí mo jókòó, tí mo súré. Ire tí mo sùn, orí ti bọ́. Orí ẹni làrúrẹ̀ ìyẹn ni orí ẹni làrúrẹ̀ ìyẹn ni. Mọ́rí ló ń fa wá mọ́rí. Orí ẹni làrúrẹ̀ ìyẹn ni. Opore chasu, Iva uba olóhùn, Àtìbàjájú, Iva uba olóhùn, ó ṣe àrú ìlà Ifá ti bọ́. Olódùmarè and the divinities, we thank you for life, we thank you for health, food, clothing, shelter. We ask that you will continue to ward off all death, ward off sickness, cases, and controversies, ward off litigation, losses, and our advice from us. Bring forth to us life, wealth, good spouse, good children, longevity, prosperity, victory over adversity, peace of mind, and healing. Aboru, Aboye, Aboshishe, Aboto, Aboraboy. This is Oluwafa Day once again. We thank you all Thank you so much for joining us with our Ifa Temple service, and we welcome you to join us. I'm asking everyone, please like and share. This is going to be a Ifa sermon that is going to be what I consider to be a teachable moment or even a download of sorts. So please like and share. I know that there will be people who are interested in this Ifa today. All right. So as we begin this process, let's just talk turkey. Let's be real. All right. So um, most folks believe destiny is permanent, right? People say whatever is meant for you will always be yours. But Ifa is going to teach us something different. And that different thing that Ifa is saying to us is that destiny is not guaranteed. Destiny must be protected. And sometimes, even if you neglect your ori, your consciousness, someone else can carry your blessings. Someone else can carry your destiny, the destiny that was meant for you. Somebody can just walk away with it. It reminds me of a poem, the Kora poem by Ntozake Shange. She wrote an incredible Kora poem called For Colored Girls Who Have Considered Suicide When the Rainbow is Enough. In the poem, she says, somebody almost walked away with all my stuff. Not my poems or a dance I gave up in the street, but somebody almost walked off with all of my stuff. Like a kleptomaniac working hard and forgetting while stealing. This is mine. This ain't your stuff. The stuff that Ntozake Shange is referring to is her essence, her name, and even the aspects of her specially crafted destiny. In this poem, she says that, and I didn't know I'd given it up so quick. And the one running with it don't even know we got it. Ntozake Shange is saying that she gave away her essence by giving in a relationship too much, too early. She became the sacrifice for her partner. She became the sacrifice. She became the ebo. And through the process of casting her proverbial pearls before swine, some of us have cared too soon. Some of us have even given all we had too early. So many of us have wanted more for somebody than they wanted for themselves. Let us look at the Odu Ifa, where we will be taking all of our evidence from today. Ifa says in Otura Iwori, let onlookers come and watch me perform. Ifa's message for Iyawo, the newly wedded, when going to her husband's house. Iyawo, go with your Ori and destiny. Do not go with your beauty. Emphasis on beauty ends in only one day. It is one's Ori that helps one live successfully in a matrimonial home. My Ori will escort you to your husband's home. She was advised to offer a bow. She complied. Before long, not too far, join us in the midst of beauty. Come and perceive all array of life. So this Odu Ifa from Otura Owori is very interesting. There was a young woman who was preparing to get married. And as she was preparing for marriage, before she went to her husband's house, she visited her very close friend. And her very close friend gave her some really good advice on marriage. She told her beauty will not sustain a marriage. It is only good character that will sustain a marriage. And an Ori can sustain a good home. The friend then prayed for her friend who was getting married. She prayed so deeply for her. And during the prayer, she said, "May my Ori support and escort you into your husband's home." The married woman then went on about her life. She got married, and her life went very well. Everything in her life was going up. But the friend who prayed for her began to experience difficulties. Her blessings began to decline. Eventually, this woman consulted Ifa, and Ifa revealed to her that she had extended her own Ori to support her friend who had just gotten married. In Oturuwari, Ifa told her she needed to offer Ebo and call back her Ori. Everybody in the chat say, call back your Ori. How does this happen in everyday life? So first of all, some of us are living on a borrowed destiny. In this story, the woman's friend prayed so deeply, she said, "May my Ori escort you into your husband's home." That prayer was powerful, but it also meant that her spiritual force helped to carry the other woman's life forward. Sometimes people succeed because of someone else's Ori, because someone else's Ori, someone else's consciousness is supporting them. Here's some examples. The person who constantly sacrifices their future to rescue others. Someone who spends years fixing everybody else's problems, paying other people's bills, solving the family's crisis, carrying emotional burdens, supporting everyone else's dreams. Meanwhile, their own life stagnates. Their Ori is constantly being redirected outward. Some people are not unlucky. They're exhausted from carrying other people's destinies. Sometimes a child can be living the destiny of their parent that their parent abandoned. Sometimes a parent had a great destiny. They had great talent, great intelligence, leadership potential, but they abandoned discipline. And years later, their child becomes the doctor. Their child becomes the leader or the builder that the parent could have been. Ifa sometimes reveals that the spiritual opportunity moves to the next person. So destiny does not disappear. Sometimes it relocates. Sometimes someone is succeeding because their elders carried them spiritually. Many people succeeded because a mother prayed for them every day. A teacher sacrificed for them. An elder protected them spiritually. But if the person never develops their own Ori and strength, eventually that support will die. Let's look at the second reason. Some people lose their destiny by giving too much of their Ori. What does this mean? In this Odu Ifa Oturuwari, the friend in the story unknowingly extends her Ori, and later her own life begins to decline. This teaches something many people misunderstand, and that is helping people is good. It's good to help folks, But overextending your Ori weakens your destiny. Overextending yourself weakens your destiny. Not being able to say no when it's time to say no, that weakens your destiny. Sometimes the helper or the caregiver destroys their own life spending decades helping others. Y'all ever heard where a caregiver begins to develop the same diseases and problems that the person that they're giving care has? I've seen this happen. Sometimes people solve those problems of their family. They give money they can't afford. They become the brokest philanthropists. They carry the emotional weight for other people. Eventually, those people look up and realize they sacrifice their health, they sacrifice their finances, they sacrifice their dreams. Some people did not lose their destiny to enemies. They gave their destiny away to people they were trying to save. Sometimes you can become the ebo in someone else's spiritual work. When someone performs ebo, something must carry the burden. Sometimes a person unknowingly becomes that sacrifice. I want to give you some interesting examples. For example, when you offer ebo with the babalawo, why does it cost so much? Well, the awo has to go get in their car, their truck, and go and pick up animals. There's something very powerful if you go and get your own animals and bring them to the babalawo. Because I've seen the times when people go and pick up animals and the animals die in the car. And then they got to go back and pick up more animals. The ebo did not start when they got to the babalawo's house. The ebo started when they put that money down, when they said, hey, I'm going to do this. The ebo is already in action. And sometimes the awo, in order to keep from being the sacrifice for your ebo, has to say, I need this amount of money. These are facts, y'all. They have to say, I need X amount of dollars in order to keep me, in order to keep my family from being the sacrifice for your ebo. Folks be standing in the gap and you don't even know it. Sometimes when individuals become the sacrifice for your ebo, a person can constantly absorb other people's problems, their emotional chaos, their financial problems, their destructive behavior. Eventually, the helper becomes sick. They experience financial decline. They experience bad luck. They, in that very moment, have become the spiritual buffer between you and the problem. If you're carrying another person's problems, you may become the ebo for that person's survival. Next is the person who neglects their ori to uplift someone else's life. Sometimes people pour all their energy into a spouse, into a business partner, into a friend. The other person flourishes, but the one giving everything begins to decline. Why? Because their ori has been misdirected. Guess what? If you do not guard your destiny, someone else may carry it. The solution in the story was simple. The friend had to offer ebo and perform a ritual where she called her ori back. This is one of the most important lessons in Ifa. Your destiny ain't guaranteed. Your destiny must be guarded. Your ori must be honored. Your life force must be directed carefully. Let us all collectively call back our Oris. Type in the chat again. Call back my Ori. I'm calling back my Ori. Ifa teaches us something many people are not ready to hear. Destiny is not just chosen before birth. Destiny is managed during life. And if you neglect your Ori long enough, someone else may end up carrying the blessings that were actually meant for you. People say, what is meant for you will always be yours, and that is not the case. Destiny does not belong to the most talented individual. Destiny belongs to the most diligent. Destiny belongs to the faithful, the one who honors their Ori. Destiny is not automatic. Your destiny is a responsibility. Your Ori has to be honored. Your character must be disciplined. Your alignment must be protected. Nothing should shake you off of your alignment path, because if you abandon your destiny long enough, you will lose it. You can see people walking around with your destiny. So today, as we close, I have some questions. Really, one question. Are you living your destiny? Ask yourself that. Am I living my destiny? Or are you unknowingly giving it away? I pray that we can analyze these questions and ascertain the answer, because the better we answer that, the more in alignment we are, the better our lives will eventually become. So with that, I want to ask you a couple of things. I want you to like and share this video. Along with that, we've got a couple of announcements. So this Monday, so tomorrow, we will be offering the Ebo of the Odu that we cast last Sunday, which is for all of this unrest and the energy of, unrest for what has happened in terms of the war, and also to prevent any negative effects happening to us. The Odu is Ogundafun. So we'll be offering the Ebo tomorrow. I'll be getting the animals tomorrow, and we'll be offering that Ebo as community. So if any of you would like to participate, you can send funds to the Zelle at 323-244-1133. The Cash App is down currently. Whenever you send the funds, please identify what you're sending the funds for. All right? And we'll allot them to the correct area. Second, we have also performed divination for our Itarogun. We did that last night. The Odu is Ategbe, Eretengbe. We came in the Ire of Ajetutu. If you would like to hear the messages, you can go back on the YouTube and on the Facebook, and you can find those messages there. We're doing that Ebo as well. We'll be doing that one next week. All right. That's one of the reasons why I'm asking you, please, when you send money, identify on there what it's for. All right. And if you have any questions, you can call or text 323-244-1133. All right. With that said, let us pray. Olodumare, I want to pray for all of our families and our loved ones at this time. I want to say a special honoring prayer for all of the Omawos who celebrate their second year. My sister, Fadeke, congratulations. my sons, Zaire and Zolani, congratulations on your second year of IFA. Michelle and Jose, want to celebrate you all as well. IFA, we also pray for our friends and our family. I want to say a prayer for our sister, Tasha Hunter. She's having a medical procedure done. IFA, please support and be with her at this time. Ola Domario, please ward off all death, ward off sickness, ward off cases, controversy, ward off fights, litigation, losses, and our advice from us. Bring forth to us long life, wealth, good spouse, good children, longevity, prosperity, victory over adversity, peace of mind, joy, healing, and success. Help us to find, follow, and fulfill our destiny. Help us to protect our Ori. Help us to live that life that is endorsed by you. Guide, direct, and protect us throughout this week, and we will see you in the following week. Thank you so much. This is Oluwafakolade Aboru, Aboye, Aboshishe, Agboto.